Imagine if your date just vanished.
That would be awful.
We have those stories coming up next. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Kiss the Frog Show.
Oh my goodness, vanished in thin air, I guess. Well, we'll hear about those in a second. But for right now, we'll introduce ourselves.
It's your girl, Shirak.
And I'm Ed, and this is Kiss the
Frogs. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. We're here just to prevent you from having those crazy dates.
Yep, and be kind to everyone everywhere. And this is helpful information. So if you're in a dating scene, even though we're listening to these humorous stories, you're going to find some good hints and good things to think about when you're out there. And we'll also give our inputs from our past. But the whole thing is just to be upbeat, fun, and hear about these stories. So going into that, today is my date vanished. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is crazy. I mean, that, thank God, has never happened to me. But remind me, so I don't have a good memory, so hopefully Shirak will remember. But at the very end, when we do our final thoughts, I will tell you a story about how I was almost the one who was going to vanish. But we'll wait until we get into that. So, are you guys ready for story number one? And this one is called, well, you can see because you have it right there.
The mystery.
The mystery bathroom escape artist. Oh boy. Okay. Got rid of the music this time around for those who have been joining us every week. Hopefully that'll be maybe a little less distracting. So let's get into it. Jared thought the date was going fantastically. He had met Leah on a dating app, and she seemed perfect, funny, cute. She actually laughed at his jokes, and they were terrible, too, at it. They met at a nice Italian restaurant. Seems like they're either going to Italian restaurants or tacos. Maybe a taco Italian restaurant. So they went to this nice Italian restaurant. From the moment they sat down, the conversation just flowed. Jared was convinced he was in the top 1% of men who crushed first dates. Halfway through the pasta course, Leah said, "Be right back. I'm going to run to the bathroom." That's totally normal. Mm-hmm. She grabbed her purse, again, totally normal. And if you listened to our show last week with the stealing, that's probably a good idea, right?
Exactly.
Well, 15 minutes passed, then 20. Jared, that's a long time, by the way. Jared thought maybe the bathroom had a line.
Which is possible.
That's totally normal, especially some of these restaurants only have one lady's bathroom. He even asked the waiter, "Hey, are the restrooms okay, like operational?" After 30 minutes, the waiter gave him that universal pity look. "You know, the one that says, 'My brother in Christ, you have been abandoned.'" Jared texted her, "Everything okay?" Read, no reply. He texted again. Still read, still no reply. At this point, Jared started wondering if she'd been kidnapped by a rogue toilet. That's not funny, but, the way he said it. He considered asking the staff to call security. Then the waiter placed the check on the table and gently said, "Sir, she left through the side door." Like, he should have said that, long before.
Okay.
So Jared said, "Oh, yeah?" The waiter said, nodding like he's seen this 400 times. She waved goodbye at me. Jared sat there in shock, starting at the empty chair across from him. Was he that bad? Did he chew weird? Did his cologne smell sadness? As he walked to his car defeated, Leah finally texted back, "Hey, Jared, sorry, something urgent came up. You're really nice, but I realize we're not a match. Thanks, though." Jared stared at the phone. Something urgent came up? Ma'am, the only urgent thing was her exit speed. To make things worse, the next morning, the restaurant posted a video on Instagram stories showing their cute little patio. And right there in the background, Leah laughing with another guy. Jared's roommates still call her the bathroom Houdini. That is funny. Oh, I got a lot to say on this one, but I'm gonna
But
hold
did
off.
she eat first before she vanished?
Yeah, you start first. Go
I want to
ahead.
know. Did she eat first? I don't know if that part was in there.
I don't know, but you go because I got a mouthful right now. So go ahead.
You'll have a mouthful on this, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and definitely this happened. But one thing is that she could have said something. I definitely said she could have said, this is not good. But he actually stood there for 30 minutes. Of course, the waiter saying, "Oh, she went out through the back," and all of this other stuff. I mean, I know he just felt humiliated, and I would have too if he's sitting there looking like and someone went to the bathroom and never really came back. But she should have did this in stride. She could have said, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things.
Wait. Time out.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get my thoughts.
Time out.
So the first thing is that he should 30 minutes is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You would really, after 10 or 15 minutes, go to the bathroom, maybe have check to see if she's in there, look around, and then from there ask somebody. And the waiter or waitress, whatever, should have said,
Right.
"Oh, I saw." Come on, you don't wait that long. That's very rude of the staff at that restaurant. They should have said something real quick. "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I think she left out the door." You don't have to do anything. Just say, "Oh, you." Especially, I kind of blame the guy. Not blame the guy. Let me rephrase that. This guy should have been a little bit more aggressive to look for, make sure she's okay within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, not wait a half an hour and then go. And then by doing so, they probably would have said earlier, "Oh, she left out the door." Now, for her, I don't know if he got stuck with the bill. So whether it's be drinks or whatever, he wound up paying for. And that's what I was saying before. That's kind of a crappy thing. How about, you leave money or say, "Can I vend you some money? I feel bad. I had to leave." But obviously, I don't know. But then we don't know the other side. He could have been really creepy. He says all this, that he was acting this way, but we know from some of the radio shows that do these second day updates, we're only hearing one side of it. He could have said some things or done some things that made her feel so uncomfortable she had to leave. Who knows?
Exactly.
Something to think about, right?
And it seemed like he wasn't even self-confident in himself because he's like, "Oh, she laughed at my jokes." Like, she at first. But sometimes women they do not want to hurt someone's feelings in person, right? So
She should at least said.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Exactly. But she didn't.
Definitely agree with that.
You ready for our second story? Yeah. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. And our second story is called The Vanishing Act at the Drive-In Theater. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. So we went from a restaurant to a drive-in theater. Okay, buckle up. Emily was sure the date was going perfectly. She met Mark at a friend's party, and he seemed sweet, quiet, but charming. When he invited her to a drive-in movie, she swooned. That was peak romance, retro, adorable. They met at the theater, parked their cars next to each other, brought popcorn. The whole place was just like perfect scenery. Emily even thought, "Wow, I am in a rom-com right now," meaning like a romantic comedy, basically. Mm-hmm. Mark complimented her outfit 3 times. He laughed at her jokes. He even said, "I'm really glad we did this." So in Emily's mind, things were going amazing.
Wow.
10 minutes into the movie, Mark said, "Hold on, I got to grab something from my car." He got out, walked to his trunk, and then never came back. Emily watched the movie thinking maybe he gotten distracted or locked himself out or fallen into the trunk somehow. She even texted, "You good, LOL?" No response. 10 minutes passed, then 20. After 30 minutes, I guess 30 minutes seems to be the thing, she finally looked over and his car was gone. Come on, you wait 30 minutes. Okay, let's go with it. He literally reversed out and left. Just drove off into the night like a man escaping a crime scene. Emily was so stunned she started laughing out loud in her empty car. The couple parked next to her peeked over, concerned, like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She wasn't. The next morning, Mark finally texted back. His explanation? I'm really sorry. I got overwhelmed. You're really cool, but but I'm not ready for someone amazing like you. That makes no sense. Needed to dip. Needed to dip. Emily sent back a single thumbs up emoji, which is the international sign for I hope all your fries are cold forever. A week later, she learned from a mutual friend that Mark had a bad habit of ditching dates whenever he got nervous. Apparently, the group even had a name for it, marking out. He had marked out of 3 dates before hers. Emily was honored to join the list. That's that last sentence. Again, these ended kind of weird.
Yeah, it did.
Like something's all right. I'll start with you. I'm so sorry, Shirok. I will start with you because, yeah.
Yeah, so I had a question about this one because it said that she heard that he was like known for ditching his dates, like he would not come back and return. So why did she should have known that before they even went on a date? They told her now?
It doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly. That doesn't make sense. They should have said something.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's like, oh, don't go at him because he's known for this. This is Mark's type of personality. This is
but maybe they're thinking it's because he wasn't with the right woman, and maybe they're thinking that they don't want to say anything. They'll just let it. Some people don't want to say anything because they want just the date to happen.
Well, at least
You know
give
what I'm
heads
saying?
up. Don't say don't go out, but just say, hey, this is type of
I
his
know.
personality. He usually ditched the woman or whatever the case may be, but he may not.
She said.
Exactly. But you're right, Shirok. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. But that was a little slip. But yeah, she should have said something. But sometimes it's weird because people, like friends, sometimes want to butt in and sometimes they don't. And this is the case where we say, hey, listen, just to let you know, like to your point, this is what you're saying. This Mark likes to ditch women sometimes. But then she would say, I don't want to go on the date. I don't know. It's sometimes they're like, I don't want to get involved. But they should have said something. I think you're right. I think they should have said something.
Yeah. And then 30 minutes, like really?
What's 30 minutes? And you didn't look over to see if he was there like after 10? Like, what's with people? They just sit there because people like to give the other people a benefit of the doubt. They're in shock. There is something like when you go on a date and things like this happen, then you're in a little bit of shock.
Of course you are. I mean,
you're like, what is, especially something like out of the ordinary like this.
It's unexpected, right?
Absolutely.
You already have some image in your mind when you're on a date. You usually think, okay, we're going to eat, we're going to have fun, and everything is going to work normalcy. But these are not normalcy behaviors that, we're experiencing.
But just face it, Mark is...
I just suck at love.
Exactly. He just sucks at love. So I know you mentioned quite a bit, but just overall, both stories in mind, Shirok, give me your final thoughts.
So the final thoughts definitely is going back to like connotation, making sure that you vet the person and have a conversation with them. These going to the bathroom and the 30 minutes and stuff like that. See, me, I'm always on guard, right? So I'm always like, okay, this can happen, that can happen. Because life is not going to be fun and easy. It's always going to be some type of something that's going to happen. And we would love to hear your stories as well when we actually, because these are interesting things that's going to happen in relationships and dating. And dating is not always going to be fun as we think it would be.
Absolutely. So I'll say really quickly, I think it's very rude, man or woman, doesn't matter, to leave a date like that, regardless, unless it's like a real emergency, and then leave the person with the bill. I mean, I think that's just kind of rude. If you're a woman, don't assume the man's gonna pay the bill. And just ditch out like that kind of stinks. But and vice versa, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. But I know I think that's crazy. So I will tell you, there's only one occasion that I'll go out of my final thought stage because this is a quick little story. You're getting an extra little story here, guys. So for me, and I don't know if I think I told you, you've heard this story before. So it really was not a date, technically.
How is that?
All right. So
It's not a date.
I was
So what
involved
is it?
in a
A
meetup where you
non-date.
go to the movies, and the person who was in charge of it was interested in me. And I should have known the red flag, right? When they paid for my ticket. Oh, don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm like, huh? And then when we showed up, you're supposed to meet with all the other people, like
Mhm.
who are there. And I noticed she didn't make any attempt to try to meet with the other people because there was plenty of other people who was part of this group that were all supposed to sit together. Well, of course,
Mhm.
you only want to sit with me, and then those seats that I have in this theater are like almost like little couches of two.
Mhm.
So, make a long story short, we're together, and I'm in the movie theater. So it's technically not a date, but she kind of like molded it into some kind of date, and I was not interested at all. So anyhow, during the beginning of the movie, she just was really loud and obnoxious. Like somebody like rose over, had their phone on, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, it's so bright! You're blinding me. They got their phone in it." And then she was being really loud and really obnoxious. And then
So you
after
ditched her, right?
no, so after well, almost. So after 2 times or 2 or 3 times, I gave it. I don't know how many times. To be honest with you, it was a lot. Like just really being embarrassing. And I just want to watch the movie. And I said in my mind as the movie started, because even as the previews are going, she's just being really rude
Mhm.
and weird. So I said, okay. I said I decided in my mind if she does it one more time,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say I'm going to the bathroom and I would just leave. But she didn't. She was okay after that. For whatever reason, she maybe got into the movie, or the movie started, and she was okay. But if there was one more thing, because I felt really embarrassed and
Mhm.
really, and it wasn't like I was leaving her with money. I mean, the whole thing was already done. But I would have left. So that's a one time situation where I would have, I probably would have just left.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my. It's not that interesting, but yeah, I stuck in there. Oh, but it was really funny because then the parking lot, she's like, "Can we go for a drink later?" I said, "No, I'm good, thank you." I
Exactly.
took off. You should see me. I got at that movie theater. I got up, and she's trying to put her hand next. She's trying to
Mhm.
get a response from me, try to flirt. And afterwards, I literally got up and beelined out. It was just, because that's not right. That's a whole other story itself. That's
Yeah,
for
that
another show.
is.
But anyhow, thank you guys so much for hanging in there and listening to our stories. And just to let you know, we want to hear from you, though. Go to kissthefrogs.com. Go to share your story. We don't want any revenge stories or any stories that,
No revenge.
yeah, we don't want any of that. We just want to hear your honest story like this, something a little cringy, a little funny, a little entertaining, maybe even a love story. We'll do love stories from time to time.
Exactly.
And just share it with us. And if you're lucky, we will read it on this show.
Thanks for
But
watching.
thank you. And then until next time,
Kiss the
you're going to be
frogs.
kissing, if you're on the dating
Kiss the
scene, you're
many
probably going to be
frogs.
kissing a lot of frogs before you get your prince or
Exactly.
princess.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Hope to see you next time on Kiss the Frogs.